Hello, hello, hello. I am Suzy Simonson, and we are here with our Behind the Design. This is where I get to share my heart behind the design of our OPWP monthly journal. This is November. It's our month of vision. And I have to say, this month of vision has been so ridiculously amazing. Um, and we're on the third day. And so to be able to say, like, the themes that have on purpose showed up for us, like they show up each month that we need them. So business partner and co-founder Becky P and I go through monthly what theme we want, and it's been so amazing that they've showed up on purpose. And so it's a growth experience for us, and we're holding the space that it's a growth experience for you too. So we're going to dive into our November journal. And I love, so Miss Carol Rudd had a question about, Carol, you're going to need to remind me where that question is, because here's the thing, I follow my GPS in creating this. And so when you said the 3 fave things, I was like, I don't even know where that's at.
That's on the first page on your picture.
Okay. Oh, that one on the picture. I thought you meant like writing it. I was like, wait, where is it? I'm looking through all the wording and I'm okay. So this is fun. So on the first page, so we always put a picture of Beck and myself. And so it says fave 3 things about yourself. And I love that because that is in the beginning. So Becky and I have known each other for almost 5 years. And this is a picture of like the in between of that. Beck, how OP. It's the in between of the 5 years. And anytime that I would start a conversation with someone, so if I'm connecting with them for the first time, if like we're going into a deep conversation or that, and in training that we do, we ask the person, what are your favorite 3 things about yourself? This was before starting with the celebration. So this was before we had put that into place, because I had learned that when you spend 17 seconds in positivity, you're going to continue to go in that. So quantum physics. And this is what I would ask people is I would say, what are your favorite 3 things about yourself? And so what would happen is I could gauge where a person is at. If they said, oh, I don't know, then I knew, okay, like I get to go deeper with them. If they were able to say 3 things right away, I could tell that they've done, more personal work than most people, like with that. But also to be able to go and look inside ourselves to say, what are my favorite 3 things about myself? And so it changes in the moment. So today, my favorite 3 things may be different than yesterday or tomorrow. And so to be able to know that that's how we can also we can affirm ourselves, to be able to say, it's like Mel Robbins high five, like the high five morning or whatever. Like you could start off with, what are my favorite 3 things today? So that's the behind the design in that. I found that picture, and that was a marketing picture from when Beck and I first started OPWP. So I put that in there. So maybe we could even quickly say, what are your favorite 3 things about yourself in this moment? So Carol.
I would say I am bold, I am joyful, and I am assertive.
Yes, we believe you. Absolutely. Terry Ann, Miss Babe, what are your favorite 3 things about yourself?
I'm compassionate, wise, and thoughtful.
Love it. Becky P. How about in this moment, favorite three things?
Favorite things that I like to be prepared, that I bring fun everywhere I go, and favorite thing that I also go with the flow.
Mm-hmm. Prepared, fun, and go with the flow. Love it. My favorite three things in this moment is following my heart, being vulnerable, and creativity. Those are my favorite three things right now in this moment. So thank you, Carol, for that. And it's something actually now I remember. So this is so fun because I get to remember things that I meant for that. I meant for that to be questioned, like for that to be different and to prompt a question. So there we go. That's fun. So super behind the design that you are asked about that, Carol. Yes. Yes. That's amazing that you asked about that, Carol. So here's a fun thing about vision. Create a vision for the life you really want, right? So many times we say for the life you're meant to have, but sometimes meant to can be very heavy. It can be very weighty. You know, how do we know if we're actually living the life that we're meant to live? But create a vision for the life you want, because that's an easy answered question. That's an easily answered question. Am I living the life I want? And then if the answer is no to any of the places, any of the like categories in our life, then what can we do to move towards the life we want? And that's where we create the vision to move forward in that. So the welcome letter, that is what that is about. Is it about creating the vision to move towards the life that you want? So then we have, as always, our reflections page. And I've been getting amazing feedback of the reflections that so many times we may stay away from taking time to reflect, but that's really what can move us to the next step. To say, where was I present? Wins I will celebrate. Best connections made. How fun to remember the best connections that you made. Right? Because in that, especially with, you know, like our separated world, what are the best connections so that you can go back to that and you can feel the joy from that? What are you grateful for? Favorite moments made, vision I will build, and where was I stronger together? Who are the people that you're stronger together with? Right? So going back, and this is, I don't know if I've ever shared this or not, but this is intentionally set as reflections and in the same place every time so that you can have your journals next to you. This. You can have them next to you if you'd like, and you can go back to those reflections. In hard times, in tough times, in good times, you can go back to the reflections and see the growth that you've had. Right? So being able to affirm yourself in the vision where you're going, you can see what you've built the months before. Right? So that foundation, that strong foundation that we're working towards, you can, and that we're laying, you can go back to it. So that's the heart behind the design in that reflections, and that it stays in the same place. And then we've got our 3 month at a glance. And so this is so that you can put in there what is coming up. So Becky had mentioned today is the National Stress Awareness Day. Is that what you said, Beck? Yeah. So here, get your stress gone. Put the things that you need to do or that are happening, that you know are happening, put those on here. What is your 3 month at a glance? Maybe this is, I mean, you could even map out your goals in here, because one of the next pages are the goal pages. So what if you mapped out your goals? and you were able to say, okay, within the next 3 months, this is what I want, this is what I need, you know, you're able to do that. That just came to me that that could pair well with the goals page. So, I mean, whatever you need that for, appointments, money making, friendship connections, family connections, what does that look like? Exercise, you know, whatever that looks like, map out the next 3 months. And a beautiful thing about this is that it takes us into the first month of 2022. Woo-hoo. So then the next page is the monthly important dates. So this is for this month only, your important dates. What do you need to fill out in there? And I love that Becky typically has like all of her stuff on here, like family stuff, kids stuff. And I think that it's color coded or just in different colors. Yes. So yeah, nice. There we go. Woo woo. So date nights and got all of that stuff. So while we're fully digital, like I love my Google Calendar. I love that it tells me where to go, that a beep comes on my phone to tell me what to do and all of that. And we need paper because there's something that happens when an idea, a thought, a vision goes from our head through our heart to our fingers. There's something magical that happens in that. And so this is a place to do that. This is a place to bring that forward. So the next page is November intentions. So the first one is I will pursue my vision. So how will you pursue your vision? What are the action steps that you'll take to pursue your vision? You know, maybe it's writing it out. Maybe it's actually sitting with what your vision is. You know, maybe it's to say, okay, what do I want on a deep level? You know, to go beyond where I've been before. Quality relationships, physical health, professional goals, and money mindset. What is your vision for that? What's your vision for quality relationships? What's your vision for your physical health? What's your vision for professional goals and money mindset? Do you want to break through different things in your money mindset or even quality relationships? Is there something that you want that isn't there right now that you can set the vision for? So that's the behind the design with that. And what we always do is we want to engage the left brain and the right brain at the same time. And so in that, then we can have the creativity, which is fun or can be fun. Most people that receive this journal, they love the creative part also. So it makes the I forgot which brain is which side is which, but the creative part makes the goal setting or the budgeting or the things that take more out of us that really are personal, that a lot of people stray from and a lot of people don't go to that, right? So the creative side draws you into that. So this says, just in case you haven't been told this yet today, you got this. So this is meant, the reason that these, can you see it? No, it's blurry because my background. There we go. The reason that these are together and are in a spread like that, first it's for lefties, because left-handed people, like they always get, so it's, I mean, my sister is left-handed and she said she gets so frustrated when the binding is where she needs to write. So that's why it's set up sideways, horizontally, but also so that you can hang it if you want to. Like, what if you were able to hang this somewhere so that your goals were in front of you all the time? Or you could have it open on your desk. Or when you're done with last month's journal, what if you hung these up to the page or the spread that sits well with you the most to encourage you to move forward. Like, what if you had it flat so that you could see, okay, my goals, like, I got this, the reminder that you got this with your goals. And then what you could do is you could look back at it and say, hey, did I have it? What do I need to do to move forward with those goals? Right? So I just thought, because the intention behind this is for the spreads to go together when they're open and to stand alone when it's folded behind, so when they're both not showing. So this is the same, right brain, left brain. How colorful are my finances this month? So many times we shy away from diving into our finances and to looking at where they actually are, or at least I do that. So created this page so that we can look and we can see, okay, my finances are colorful. So what you do is you decide what each petal equals. So if each petal equals $1 and you got paid $100, you color in 100 petals. So that can be really colorful. So whether you're in abundance or whether you're in want, you can make this as colorful as you want. If you want each petal to be 10 and you receive the same $100, you color in 10 of them to equal $100. If each petal is $100, you color in 1 when you receive $100. So in that is to show how colorful your finances are, so that you can look back at this and you can say, okay, I want more color in my life, or man, that was a colorful month, to be able to bring joy in that. And then that leads to the budgeting. And so the budgeting, this is something, I've kept Dave Ramsey's quote on there instead of changing it around, because I think that it's such a strong quote. It says, having a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And so in that, to be able to say, okay, the item, the planned, the actual. So this can be your monthly bills. This can be like, do you allow yourself to have a shopping spree? Do you allow yourself to have personal care? Do you invite different things that are beyond the bills? This is where you can say that. And then you can say, yes, I did get my massage. Or yes, I got my nails done. Or yes, I did. And this is what I budgeted for. This is really to be able to encourage to use for the normal things, but also the things that we need for our personal, like that we want. So that's there. And then we've got the mood tracker and the habit tracker. So this is something this page is really created for me, because I haven't always wanted to acknowledge my moods. I haven't always wanted, and to know how much they affect every area of my life. And so, so mood is different than emotion. Like mood is, I would want to say, so just thinking of this, mood is maybe the soul and emotion is maybe the spirit of things. Like, so, because I've just heard that your soul and your spirit are different. I don't know exactly. So going there with it, because I just heard that. So like the deeper part or the more consistent part, your soul, like to say, okay, what is underneath the emotion? If anyone has thoughts on that, that would, I see thinking and like going there. So that I just thought of that. So that was not behind the design, is this was created for me and holding the space that it draws out what it needs to in everyone's life, but being able to say, how does my mood affect my life? So, and a lot of times, so the reason that the mood tracker and the habit tracker are right next to each other is so that you can see on the first succulent, how was I with my habits on the first day? With the second succulent, how was my mood? How did it affect my habits on the second day? Does it affect it? You know, because if it doesn't, if you are a person that that nothing affects your habits, amazing. If you're a person that everything affects your habits, amazing, because you can look back at your mood tracker and you can say, so really this is a time capsule to figure out ourselves and to say, what do we want to focus on more, and what do we want to engage in more? What do we want to release? What do we want, so really to have a time capsule and a place where we can say, we can go and figure ourselves out, or at least work on it. We are a soul, we have a spirit. Cool. Thank you, Beck. Thank you for looking that up.
Well, so I was looking at my phone really quick because I actually was researching this when it was shared in Action Hour mastermind, the discussion of a soul and a spirit being separate. And I thought really interesting too, that I started looking into it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be clear on what it was. And I have a couple things saved on my phone that I was just looking at. And it says, soul is personal, feels clearly, is symbolic. It is the yin energy.
Okay.
And it's doing and fulfillment. And the spirit is impersonal. It sees clearly, content free, yang energy, it's being and enlightenment.
Cool.
That's the things that I was swirling around and researching for myself to know, okay, what would be the difference in those? So that's I encourage everyone to look into it because it was very interesting. I started going down some holes to see really what people's ideas and concepts are around both of those. And they are very different.
Yeah. Just like the yin and yang.
Yep.
Yes, for me, I think of the spirit as our connection to our source.
Mm-hmm.
And that is eternal. And then our soul is the connection of who we are in our physical body.
Yeah, we are a soul, we have a spirit. Yeah.
Yep, exactly, Carol. It says on the other one that I found on here, it's spirit is the immaterial part of our body which connects with God. We have a spirit, and soul is the immaterial part of our body. We are a soul. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Because I'm that sits well with me, but I don't know exactly yet. Terry.
Yeah, that what you just read is exactly my interpretation. My spirit, it was created by God. It is a part of me, but my soul is my purpose, my vision, and how I live in alignment with that spirit that was given to me. So my soul is that's where I really connect to other human beings, and that's where vulnerability lives. That's where responsibility, all my purposes live in my soul. My spirit was a gift from God. It's my divinity. That's the part of me that's divine, is my spirit.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, and how cool that our spirit can show joy and hope and trust and the things that are beyond us, no matter what situations we're in. Yeah. I was just a personal moment. I was just saying that about my brother, is that his spirit is so strong. He and Allie are still so joyful. My mom wrote an email saying he's making all the nurses laugh, and he wants to know every single person's name that comes in the room. He wants that personal, spiritual, that is his spirit connection. so that thank you for that gift, all of you, of understanding and thoughtfulness in our soul and our spirit. That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next page, which is feeling my body. So this can be fueling your mind. This can be fueling your actual body. This can be, so the intention behind this is for if you need a grocery list, because this is a journal. Like, you want to write down the things that you're putting in your body, the nutrients that you're putting in your body. Or you could also use it on, is your body fueled? Is it on empty? Is it full? Right? What if we started, so this just came to me in using this page more efficiently. What if you had a gas gauge and like you drew a gas gauge? So this may be where we're going with this, I'm not sure. But you drew a gas gauge, like the one at the top of the page and at the bottom of the page. And what if you did, for that day or for that week, how will you fill your tank? On the grocery list, what are the nutritional things and what are the non-nutritional things? In that, how can you fuel your body? What does your body need? And then you can go back and you can say, awesome, I was full. And then you can see how your mood was and how your habits were and how that affects everything. So this page in the journal may be switching up. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get the download of that because I think that there's more to this page than I was giving it credit. So there we go. How am I pursuing my vision? So this is our daily one-liners. So in your one-liner, to be able, this again is also that we can know ourselves, we can see ourselves, and we can reflect back to say, when was I growing? When was I stagnant? Where did I have the most fun? And where was I the most bored? Like, what brought me joy and what brought me frustration? Right? So how am I pursuing my vision every day? How am I pursuing my vision? One thing that I started doing is, so this is for the color coders out there that are like, I kind of get obsessive about it sometimes. So my first 2 days I did blue on Monday and I did teal on Tuesday. And on my one-liners, I did blue on Monday on the first day and I did teal on the second day. So it's just fun to make it what you want it to be. So in that, like, filling it, using it, if this is a place where you think tank and you dump everything out, use it as that for your notes and your journaling, like put that in there, and then really focusing on your 3 must-dos. Because really we can do 3 things in an excellent way. And this journal is meant for the person who beats themselves up over the 2 things that weren't done instead of the like 15 things that were, or the 3 things that were done and the things that they think about that they think they need to do. But with our capacity, each of us has a different capacity, but we can do 3 things in an excellent way. We can do 5 things in a good way, and anything more than 5, it's just doing, right? So there are days where we just got to do. We've just got to get through. It doesn't necessarily take excellence, but then there are days where we need that excellence. We need that thoughtfulness. We need that. And so filling out the 3 must-dos and having the overflow in the notes is a huge thing. And then what I've got, so on the calendar page, that intention, what is your intention for the week? Is it to grow? Beck and I have started doing this, thinking about, okay, what is our weekly intention to focus on in OP? And then what you want to do is you want to fill out every day. What was the victory of that day? How can I improve today? And what is my plan for the improvement? So in that, the victory of the day, these could be one word, because this is for you, or this could be multiple sentences, and maybe you have like a runoff page or runoff space. Maybe you take the space all the way around that rectangle. This is yours to fill. This is yours to make your own. So the design is there, and it's yours to make your own. So that's the calendar page. Then we've got our connection hour, and our connection hour is the first Thursday of the month, which is mañana. So connection hour, this is to connect with each other on a deeper level, beyond the surface, to be able to really get to know each other, because as a community, that is our goal. Our goal is that you're seen, heard, and known. And so in all the things that we do, we encourage you to be seen, heard, and known. So to do that, we show up, right? So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Then we've got another calendar page. So, what I forgot to mention in the last one was there is a line for your purpose for that week. So your purpose and your intention are different. Your purpose could be to bring life everywhere I go, right? What does that look like? That could look like a smile, like whether you've got a mask on or you don't have a mask on, look people in the eyes and smile, right? Like it could be saying hi to someone. It could be, whatever that looks like. It could be calling a best friend out of the blue just because, right? So your purpose is the overall thing for that week to say. And then your intention could be, so my purpose could be to bring life everywhere I go. My intention could be to connect with my brother at least 3 times. My intention could be to send my mom a text message, a supportive text message. My intention could be, so that's more the action steps, and the purpose is the overall. So maybe the soul is the purpose and the spirit is the action steps, the intention. We'll go there. So that's the same. And then our networking hour. Our networking hour is unique in we have questions. Like, this is a time to show up and show off in your business. This is a time to practice. This is a time to get comfortable with the different levels of your business. This is a time to meet and know other micropreneurs, to be able to say, hey, how can I support you? This is a time to learn about each other. This is a time to have fun and to laugh and to, whatever comes out of it. So the uniqueness in this is that we really, on every level of OP, we want to see you, hear you, and know you. And so in this networking time, we give the structure for that, the fun structure. So our next page is one of the favorite coloring pages. Beck was so excited. So she gets a preview of all of this, and then we work together on getting it completed. And she was like, Suze, that's my favorite page. So just the difference, like prioritizing sharpens your vision. So on one side, they're very, like, it's 2 different sides, which this is kind of funny because the cactus is pokey on one side and sharp on the other, right? So the pokes, so in this, there may be different, like, neither one of them is necessarily easy and smooth, but which one, like, do you want, like, I don't know, there was just something about that in there, that it's pokey on one side and it's sharp on the other. So prioritizing sharpens our vision to focus on the most important things. So
Okay.
yeah, tell me.
I wanted to share why that one caught me so, like, that I was excited about it so much is that I was always told by my childhood best friend that I'm like a cactus, that I'm really prickly and prickly on the outside, but really mushy gushy on the inside. Like it's, you have to work to like get to me, but and I'm standoffish maybe, right? But then it's mushy gushy inside. So this one really caught my attention because I like the thought of how you just explained prickly and
Yeah.
then sharp.
Yes. Yeah.
So I love
I
that.
love it.
I love that deeper knowing of that page.
Yes, that's awesome. And with the cactus, there's like water inside and like goodness inside, such goodness. And you got to get past the prickly. You got to get through. Once you're there, you're sucked in and held and stay. So my thought in this, sometimes when there's an equation, you can start at the end. When there's a sentence, you can start at the end. And the intention behind this page and the wording of this page is to start at the end. What are the most important things? Fully, what's your vision about the most important things? Because I'm holding a mirror up right now. I'm speaking to myself. Do I focus on the most important things? And what can help that is prioritizing, right? So going through and saying, what are the most important things? And how I'm going to fill in this page is the shelves so down at the bottom, there's 3 shelves. I'm going to fill in what the most important things are on there. I'm going to put wording on that, and then I'll color in so that I can always go back to what are the most important things, to say, okay, how can I focus on them? And then I need to prioritize, right? So being able to go there with that. And then we have our calendar page. We have our strategy hour, which is a level up hour that Beck and I lead. That it is the guided mastermind. Beck, will we both be in Mexico for this one? Or is that the next one? The growth hour. I don't know, we'll have to figure it out. But that would be fun. So our coloring page, the next one, this is one of my favorites. I've always wanted to do a page like this with the circle on it. So this says focus on what enhances your vision. So what brings beauty to your vision? What brings joy to your vision? How can you focus on that? And yeah, super excited. And maybe you write your vision on the inside of the circle of the wreath thing. So we've got a calendar page. We've got our community culture code, be present, celebrate wins, create connections, give gratitude, share moments, build vision, stronger together. This is our community. So that is intentionally, those words are there on purpose. And what's fun is that typically in my journal, I always find, like, I'll be flipping through the pages and I always find that whatever notes I need to take, like, it goes to that page. And so that's a lot of fun and on purpose so that we can know and live in the community culture code. So that we can know that we're here for more than action hours. We're here for more than the connection and the networking, but we're here for ourselves too, and to go beyond the surface. So our growth hour is where Brenda Wolf will be highlighted as our leader, and she's going to be talking about vision because that's our month theme. Then we have a calendar page. Then, okay, so the house with the puzzle, and we are at 9:50, so we're going to go about 5 minutes after, maybe 3 minutes after. So the house with the puzzle. I was looking for puzzle pieces, and we've been talking a lot in the community and just in life about the foundation that we build, right? Does this make a strong foundation? Does this make a solid foundation? What is the What is the foundation that we're building, and can our vision stand on that, right? And so that mindset, that vision, that dream, build it. So really saying, do it, go for it, prep, like wherever you're headed, build that house and build it so it's gonna stand. So just showing the puzzle piece that fits into the house. And I got to create this house. Like I put all of the lines on there I made, and the puzzle piece I made. And so in the making, the process, thinking about all the work that goes into building our vision, building our mindset, building our dream. And so that's a super fun thing to know that the puzzle piece is there for us to put in place. Like it's already in us. The vision is already in us. The dream is already in us. The mindset we get to work at, but it's in us to do. So super excited for this, and to see how that's brought. Like, what do the windows bring? What does the roof bring? You know, what do each of those mean to you? What is that puzzle piece that you get to place in there to complete the building? So, and then we've got our think tank. As always, it's the last spread of the journal, so that you can, I love Becky's son, Avery. He's like, Mom, these are for the big ideas, because they're big light bulbs. These are for the big ideas. And yes, that is the intention behind it, is that these light bulbs are bigger. And so it's for the things that you need to get out of yourself to be able to put onto paper, to be able to take action with. And then we have our promotional page, which we've got Amy Mead featured with Divine Willow Wellness, and Kelly Fox with Kelly Lynn Coaching. And Beck and I are going to be starting something new. It's a bite-sized living OP training. And so what that is it's going to be, there's a lot of things that we say that we just say in conversation or in training or in a mastermind session. And so this is where you can get up to 15 minutes of concentrated Genius sessions. So what that means, like, I'll talk about your GPS, gut, purpose, soul, like go behind that. And so that will be a subscription that you get more goodness of Beck and myself. And it's either $7 a month or $197 for lifetime, like forever, for the catalog of it that we will have. So that is our behind the design with the vision. And we are going to, so it's 3 minutes after when we typically stop that session. So we're going to jump into how your time was. So Carol, and I'm going to continue recording this just because we are going to be marketing the journal a lot more. So any takeaways that you have, if you're okay with that going to marketing, we may take little sound bites from it to be able to share with people. So, but just asking your takeaway for Vision Month. We're in Vision Month. What was your biggest takeaway?
Well, my biggest takeaway is I'm so right here with you in this calendar, working on my vision and working on all the things I can do moving forward for my business, and super excited about that. I have to say that I've underutilized the calendar most of the time, but I'm looking forward to, I did go to the vision page and work on that, or, my goals and stuff. So I'm looking forward to working with this more now that I have more vision around it.
Hey, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you. And Terry, how was your time? What's your biggest takeaway from the Vision Journal?
Well, excuse me, I'm not sure I can just come to one thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I had never noticed that at the beginning of each week, there was a space for purpose. I had not noticed that before.
Yeah.
So that I really like that. So I'm taking that away. And on the how am I pursuing my vision, I never had thought of putting frustrations or expectations in there,
Mhm.
just to be aware of what are the blocks to pursuing my vision.
Yeah.
You know, because if that day I can't think of a way that I did pursue my vision,
Right.
which I have to put into words because I'm not sure about that either.
Yeah.
What does that show me so that I can reflect on that? Today, I really don't think I pursued my vision. So what
Yeah.
went on that day? And then, you know, kind of coordinating the mood and the habits and what I did today. You know, I don't know that I'd put that together as a cohesive piece either. So
Yeah.
there we go. That's just a few of the things.
Yeah. I love it. I love it because it's intentionally set up that they go together, you know, like connecting that right brain and left brain, and then what we do with that. Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you, Terry. Becky P, how about you?
Well, okay, so the question is, what's my takeaway from this vision journal?
Yeah.
And like what Terry was just talking about with the one-liners, I found that this is really a page that it anchors the whole month for me. Like when I have filled out the one-liners, there was months it didn't happen. There was months that didn't fill out any. There was some that I filled out half of them. But the months that I look at, I have all my journals next to me. And when I open up and I see the ones that actually filled out the one-liners, it really anchors in like my purpose. And what Terry was talking about with, you know, putting a one-liner, how am I pursuing my vision? Even these first 2 days of filling that out, I was like, but what is the vision? So where am I focusing? And it brings the focus of the month full circle for me. That helps me stay focused, and also being able to adjust when I'm like, I don't know. Well, now I need to get recentered around, well, what is my vision? Where am I focusing? Where is my priorities? All the things that we've been talking about. And the one-liner is just, it's so simple to just sum it up, you know, in the one day. So even the last 2 days, I'll share that day one, it was preparing the packing list for my family to take our first family vacation to Mexico.
Yes.
Day two was that I went shopping yesterday for clothes specifically with the intention in mind. Like, the boys need clothes that fit them for summer weather and winter weather because we're coming back to winter. So that's part of my vision, because everything since I was 12 has been around wanting to have life experiences with my children. And that I've always known that I was ready to travel with them and explore more when they were 5 and older. And that's where we're at. So my vision is focusing on experiencing life with my family. So
Yes. I love that. I love that. That's such a huge, like, the one-liner. And really, like, hearing all of your feedback, it really solidifies the heart behind the design, because the heart behind the design is it's so far from having another journal or having another planner, or, you know, having something that you have to do. But what it is so that you can go to each page and it can all be connected. Our life is meant to be connected. You know, we're meant to know our purpose. We're meant to know our vision. We're meant to complete that. We're meant to pursue that. You know, so all of the pages in this journal are meant to take you back to you. So that's it. And we are at 10 a.m. And Foxy, I want to welcome you onto the call. Yay. Oh, thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. That means the world to us. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna stop recording. Here we go.